Spata, CEO of Dev Team 6. How are we all doing out there today?
Right.
You gotta get louder than that. Let's hear it. Crypto Expo Dubai, very excited to be here. Dev Team 6. A little bit about us. We are a blockchain development company. We do all sorts of platforms, support multiple projects, and continue to build accountability, transparency, and most of all, authenticity. A couple things that I want to go over really quick, and then I'm going to get into some of the things we do that's different and why Dev Team 6 is different. First and foremost, one of our projects, Mini Doge. Some of you may already know about Mini Doge, but Mini Doge is actually a blockchain game that is built for open world, similar to what you see in Roblox or a Fortnite type game. We're building an ecosystem around it for developers to be able to continue the development side of the game. That's one of the projects we support. Another one is called Symbol, Symbul. That project is actually built around something very unique, something very different, and that is DeFi payment gateway. So a lot of people say, how do you build a DeFi payment gateway? Well, I'm not going to steal my partner's thunder. Eric Anderson, the CTO of Dev Team 6, is going to be on a panel tomorrow to talk to you guys about the DeFi payment gateway and how that works out. So we'll have that for you guys tomorrow. But now it's time to get into the exciting stuff and what we've done that definitely is a game changer in the token space. So out there right now, how many of you have ever used a swap platform like PancakeSwap, Uniswap? Just raise your hands really quick. If you've ever used Uniswap, PancakeSwap, any of those? Okay, so on those platforms, the token space has actually transformed over the last 2 years. One of the biggest things that has changed is they've introduced this thing called tokenomics. Has anyone here ever heard of tokenomics? Raise your hand. Okay, so if you're in the space and you know crypto, you most likely have heard of tokenomics at some point. So tokenomics essentially is where you're going to pay a fee for that token to trade that token, whether you're swapping in or you're swapping out of that token, right? So PancakeSwap, Uniswap, that's what we call Swap 1.0. A lot of people will say, wait, why do you call it Swap 1.0? We call it Swap 1.0 because essentially it's the earlier version of the routing system that powers the automatic market maker. So why does that matter to token projects? Well, any token project that has any fees, whether it's 5% going to liquidity, or it's 5%, 3%, 2% to a development side, whatever those fees are, on those routers on PancakeSwap or Uniswap or any other swap in the entire token space, they only can collect those fees in the project tokens, right? So if I'm buying, for example, Mini Doge, one of our projects, I go and I might pay a 5% or a 10% fee, but the contract, the token contract, the smart contract behind it is going to collect the fees in Mini Doge token from the swap. So a lot of people say, well, why does it matter? Well, why it matters is these different buckets, whether you've got 5% to liquidity, 5% to a marketing wallet, 2% to a development wallet, whatever those fees are, and it's 85 to 90% of the tokens that come out every single day right now in this space have tokenomics. Every time they go to fill those buckets, they have to take those collected tokens that they collected as fees and sell those sell those tokens on the market. So what happens is you create an inauthentic market and you have artificial trading that is happening right now every single day in PancakeSwap and in Uniswap. What is Swap 2.0 and why has Dev Team 6 created it? So what we've done is we created, until now you've dealt with all the other ones, PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and what we've done is created a new swap. It's called Pi Swap. It's our Pi project. It's Swap 2.0 technology. That's what we call it. Swap 2.0 technology allows any development project, any token in the project space, to be able to collect fees in the paired token, or what's called the base token. So if they're trading, trade BNB on the BSC side to get into your project, BNB you swap in to get into the project, we're able to collect the tokens in BNB. If it's on the Ethereum side and it's on Uniswap and we're trading that token project, we're able to collect the tokens and the fees in Ethereum as opposed to the project tokens. Why does that matter? Because the contract never has to sell. About a month and a half ago, we made history on the blockchain. We had the first ever tokenomic token that ever was able to collect fees in the base token.
Woo!
It's a game changer.
Yes!
It changes everything.
Yes!
Let's hear it for that. Let's go.
Make some noise!
Let's hear it for that. It's a game changer. It changes everything in the entire token space from now into eternity, because it gives tokens an actual authentic market. There are no artificial sells coming from the contract. There's no artificial trades happening. And a lot of people, have you ever been in a project, anybody here, you ever been in a project, a token project, part of a community, where you hear people say, why are the developers selling tokens?
Yeah.
Raise your hand really quick, right? So you guys have seen it, right? You know what I'm talking about. This stuff happens every single day. And a lot of people say, why does it really matter if they sell their own tokens? It's because every single day, it requires that project to go up 20% in order to overcome that 10% in tokenomic fees, because it keeps selling from the contract, right? So healthy markets is what we promote. When I said authenticity is what we stand for, this is an example of how Dev Team 6 is driving new innovative technology to build the token space the way it was meant to be built in the first place. So let me move on to the next one. MoonForce. MoonForce is a new project we've launched a couple months ago. It's a new platform. A lot of people want to refer to it as a launch pad, but it is essentially, it's Google Analytics of crypto. A lot of you guys walking around this room, talking to all the people out here, looking for tchotchkes and some free t-shirts. But let me tell you, this is a game changer. What MoonForce is about to do to this space is going to change how it is optimized. Most people sit there and say, what does that mean? So let me ask you a question. Anybody here ever do any marketing, digital marketing, do something online, go out there and okay, so if you've been in a project or you've been in any sort of crypto space, have you ever been a part of something where the project says, hey, we're gonna run an ad or we're gonna do something to drive this more awareness to this project? Anybody? Raise your hands. It's gotta be more people than that. You guys are all here for crypto, right? So if you've been in a project that runs marketing, does anybody know here, how do they measure the marketing efforts that are being made by that project? Right now, currently, as it stands, the only way they can go is Google Analytics, but it only helps them get to one endpoint. It doesn't help them get to a conversion, right? So there's nowhere on the SEC side, CEX, centralized exchanges, or DEXs, the decentralized exchanges today, that allows a project to actually track and know for sure, for certain, how many conversions from their marketing efforts are actually happening. So let me put this out there. I go and I spend $10,000 on Facebook ads, right? And I've got mini Doge, and I want the whole world, I want to do an ad in the UAE, and I want to find out if I'm doing this advertising on Facebook, how many people from the $10,000 that I just spent on Facebook, how many of those people actually converted into a holder of my project? Today, that doesn't exist. What we're building at Dev Team 6 through the MoonForce platform, we are building a marketing pixel tracking analytics tool. This tool is going to allow for all projects to be able to utilize any DEX or any SEX and allow them to track. So another big issue right now in this space, back to accountability, back to making sure that we have full transparency, right? So there's a lot, how many people in this room has ever seen a project say, hey, we hired an influencer? Raise your hand, right? You know what I'm talking about. And everybody gets excited and everybody's pumped for about, an hour, 2 hours. And then the video drops, right? And it's all this pump and all this excitement about it. But nobody truly knows, is this influencer real? Is this influencer really driving true, actual new holders to the project? Or is this influencer got a whole bunch of bot comments, a whole bunch of likes that were paid for, a whole bunch of fake stuff to make people think that this was a good opportunity for the project? You might pay BitBoy on YouTube $50,000, right? BitBoy wants 50 grand in order to do a video to support your project. All those paid influencers, right? So if I give BitBoy $50,000 and I'm the development side or I'm the community, because there are communities out there that will actually pay for these influencers because they want to drive their project, right? What's happening in there is that they're paying the money and nobody knows exactly what impact that project is getting from that effort that was made from the money spent. So what is the return on ad spend? What is the return on the investment that was made into that influencer? Right now you have no idea. What MoonForce is offering is a platform. It's so much more than just a launch pad. So there's a launch pad in it. There's a discovery channel, something like CMC, CoinGecko, similar to that. There's a whole bunch of other tools, but there's a war room. Inside the war room, it's built for both developers and it's built for the community members. Back to transparency. This is where community members can actually see what is happening inside the project. There will be a marketing tool that allows them to create those pixels and actually use those pixels. So I can now go to BitBoy and I can give him a tool, give him a link that he uses when he drops his video on YouTube. When I go spend that $10,000 on Facebook, I have that link that I'm using because it's gonna track each and every person that is clicking that link and going to my landing page. It is then going to track them through the entire life cycle of that person's journey. And if that person swaps or gets into our project in some capacity, I have a fired conversion that tells me I have a result or an event that took place from that person who clicked my ad or clicked BitBoy's link or whatever the case may be. So at Dev Team 6, our goal is to continue to drive authenticity, transparency, and truly build authentic markets. One of the biggest things that we've seen in this space today is there's so many people out there that are offering so much support for projects, but there's literally no way to hold them accountable. So with MoonForce and the War Room, what we've done is we've built an entire influencer marketplace. We've built an entire an advertising marketplace. Inside of those tools, this is a place where developers and community members can go in and they can actually provide feedback on every influencer that's ever used. All the data tracking, so every time you hire somebody inside the MoonForce platform, it's going to track the actual results from that person. So if there's a new influencer or there's somebody that wants to offer services within MoonForce, they're going to offer those services, but everything that they do within the platform is being tracked. Another good example of what we offer inside the platform is we offer community tools. So we have a whole bunch of stuff inside the war room that works for the actual developer, because they can use it for one click. So another good example is we have a one click to list. So this is a tool inside the war room that the developers are able to utilize to be able to truly circumvent all the steps it takes to be able to list their project on over 500 different listing sites. There's a ton of those listing sites, and they're all going and submitting it one by one by one by one. MoonForce War Room allows projects to be able to go in there and hit one time, choose the sites they want to list on, click one click. They can then submit everything all in one click. So what we've done is we've built a more efficient, more effective platform that is built to change the space, but also unite community with the developer side, so that transparency, authenticity, and total accountability is built.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time. Thanks for being here. Crypto Expo. Take care.